Here is Manuel and Francisco Aires Mateus. I wanted to begin with the beginning and ask you how you came to architecture. What was your epiphany at the beginning?
To starting, the way we start, it's not a big adventure. Our father is an architect. Our environment was also surrounded by architects. So in a certain moment we became architects with no special reasons.
Connected with art, our mother's a painter, so there was always this aim to be connected with the artistic world in a way.
It's not a big adventure.
And starting in Portugal, who were your heroes? Who were your inspirations to get you started?
To talk about Portugal, well, of course, was mainly Caesar. It's our, let's say, our big reference and big inspiration. We worked for a long period with Gonçalo Birne. That it's also, it was a kind of in Lisbon was the Oporto school in Lisbon. So we start very early to be looking very carefully to the history in Oporto, and Caesar was, and have been since then, always references for us. In Portugal, let's say.
And what did you learn from Caesar?
Freedom, more than anything. Freedom and, and courage to move on and to change and to,
And in a more practical way, the attention to the very tight attention to the place, and also a very tight and sharp look to heritage. So this is very important for us, as it's more or less evident in Caesar's work.
Also a certain condition of the capacity of design, the way you move through the spaces, the way you could move. It's not only design in 3 dimensions, it's also design the way you move through the spaces and through the different possibilities of into the project.
In terms of your own generation, I was curious, because we have in the early 20th century the historic avant-gardes with manifestos. We have in the 60s the neo-avant-garde with manifestos, and we spoke here the other day with Andrea Branzi, who presented his new manifesto, and I was wondering, in your generation there is maybe a more atomized generation, but still I was wondering what is your connection to your own generation of architects, and if you have a manifesto.
It's difficult to talk about a manifesto, especially if you are working. If you think about in our work, a kind of a manifesto, I think that what we have been appointed to be our center of our work, it's in a way the idea that we cannot run away from the idea of having certain materiality on the projects, on the construction. That we really accept the idea that have to be built, they have to have materials, that have to be a certain heaviness in that condition. But I think that it's more what we have been told that our work it's about, because we accept that we have a kind of it's very important for us, this idea of relation with the context, but it's also very important the idea of a certain independency of the spaces, and this idea that this independency that could be created in between this kind of reaction to the outside or the reaction to the inside, that could create a kind of a limit of a kind of a field that could really be designed and worked and could be explored, yes, and could be spaces again, could be in another scale, could be materials, could be things in a different scale. But I think that, it's difficult.
Time will tell. More than a certain manifesto we are pursuing, time will tell what we're doing.